Hi friends, welcome back. So Tesla has had a horrible month, down 25%. You guys can see that there. And the question is, can it get any worse for the car maker? As it turns out, yes, it can. Headline, Tesla recalls 2.2 million cars, nearly all of its vehicles sold in the US over a warning light issue. And this is dated on February 2nd, 2024. Yes, you heard that correctly. 2.2 million cars, near all of them sold. They got a problem. And we've actually talked about this stuff before in the channel where Tesla does these weird choices with their safety issues. If you saw my video a couple weeks ago, we had a hazard light issue where basically your hazard light is way too small. And essentially when you lift up the trunk, the lights are connected to the trunk and that's all you're left with. So please check that out if you haven't already. Moreover, we also talked about this as well. When they designed the Cybertruck, they actually really didn't want to add side mirrors because you know what, side mirrors just aren't cool, and we can save money if we don't add them on there. But they were forced to put them on there because of regulations, and now they're doing a recall over get this, font size. So this is what it is. It says Tesla's latest screw up involves making the font size of its braking system too small. The company is recalling all of the 2.19 million vehicles it sold to correct the mistake. Now, the bulls are going to tell you, no, we don't need to read this stuff because we're awesome. However, the government tends to disagree with that. Here's the issue. It says, it turns out the font size for Tesla brake warning system is a bit too small. How small? Smaller than the 3.2 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. And essentially, they got to kind of bring them all back and change the font size. It's a real thing. It may seem minor, but the font size can correlate to safety when all of your vehicle's controls are ported to the touchscreen. And I'm sure you guys understand this. It matters, right? You want people to be able to read things. Tesla doesn't think so. They think, you don't need to worry about it. But the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration certainly disagrees. And it says here, the visual warning indicators are smaller than prescribed size and, quote, could reduce the driver's detection of it when illuminated, increasing the risk of collision. Now, actually, that is probably going to get the headlines, but there's yet another one. And this has to do with Tesla's power steering loss. And the U.S. Auto Safety is going to look into this. Let's read the details of this one. This is sort of what I want to talk about with you today. And it's been a crazy, crazy month for Tesla. This is February 2nd. U.S. safety regulators have upgraded their probe into Tesla vehicles over power steering loss to an engineering analysis, the required step before the agency could demand a potential recall. So essentially, they got to look into this thing to see, like, is this a design flaw, something going on with the company. The National Highway Safety Traffic Safety Administration on Friday said the investigation covers 334,000 Model 3 and Model Y vehicles from the 2023 model. So this is the newer ones. The agency's upgraded probe follows a December Reuters investigation that found tens of thousands of Tesla owners have experienced premature failures of suspension or steering parts or over at least 7 years, citing Tesla documents and interviews with customers and former employees. Moreover, let's take a look at this. Some drivers reported harrowing tales of sudden power steering outages. So not so great if you can't steer. I'm sure you guys know this. At speeds that nearly caused accidents. The Tesla documents showed that the automaker sought to blame drivers for frequent failures of suspension and steering parts it long known were defective. Tesla did not immediately respond to requests for comment on the NHTSA's upgraded investigation. Moreover, the NHTSA, which had opened a preliminary evaluation in July into loss of steering control in 280,000 Tesla 3 and Tesla My vehicles after 12 drivers reported problems, said it now identified a total of 2,388 complaints. So those complaints seem to be popping up, and we're finding more. And you can also see here some Tesla owners report an inability to turn the steering wheel, while others report an increase in required effort. So either the steering wheel just didn't work, so it says inability to turn it, or you had to use more force, right? Reported an increase in required effort. Moreover, it says here, the agency said it had linked one crash to the investigation in which a driver couldn't complete a right-hand turn at an intersection and struck a vehicle. So I guess it just didn't work at all, and they ended up hitting a car as you guys can see here. Or, well, it says vehicle, so it could be car or truck. Tesla and NHTSA jointly inspected the vehicle. Moreover, let's take a look at this. Some drivers told NHTSA that the steering issues continued until the power steering rack was replaced. So essentially, they had to get a new one. You can see right there. NHTSA said the probe will examine the conditions leading to and resulting from the steering rack failures. It remained unclear exactly what parts might be need recalling or replacing to prevent the steering outages. So that's why they got to probably do the engineering thing to figure out like exactly where is the problem. Is it a design thing? Is it just faulty parts, etc.? We'll figure it out. More it says here, Tesla has addressed some other issues with remote software fixes. The automaker could face much more expensive recall if the NHTSA requires repairs or replacements of physical parts. So this is the big one right here, right? So say fixing something like a font issue or a software update will be relatively inexpensive, right? It's annoying. You gotta all the vehicles gotta come in and you gotta do it, etc. But if it ends up being physical parts regarding the steering wheel thing, it can be much more costly. So this has been the issue with Tesla stock. It's been on a one-way ticket down. We've had issues with Elon Musk and his pay. And I understand that the fanboys and the fangirls like to close their eyes and put their head in the sand. I get that. But however, these are actually real concerns. If the government says, hey, font sizes, need to be a certain size, or hey, you need to have side mirrors, or hey, you need cars that need steering wheels that actually work correctly and properly all the time, you actually have to pay attention to that because people are indeed in these cars. Now, some of the Tesla fanboys and fangirls say, well, no, this is something that happens all the time with software. We're a tech company. Look at the iPhone. iPhone needs updates all the time. The difference here is that I'm not carrying my family or myself or driving my iPhone, right? I'm just carrying the said phone. I'm not riding in my iPhone. When you're riding in a car and say you can't read something on the car or you can't, control the car effectively, it puts your life in danger and puts other people's lives in danger. So that's why these regulations are more serious. And essentially, when you do a recall to fix something, you're worried about safety. So I'll leave that up to you if safety is a concern. Like I said, I told you guys before, I think this warning light issue is a real thing. And I myself, do like mirrors. I do like to see other cars around me. And I myself also do like to read the screen on my display. So that's just me. Some people don't need to read these things, but the government disagrees. So anyway, love to hear your thoughts on this thing. Do you think Tesla cares about your safety? Do you think Tesla cares about the parts they put in the car? And what's going to be the ultimate result of both the steering wheel issue and the recall? 2.2 million cars, nearly all of its vehicles sold in the US over warning lights. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next video.